Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tap In with Tristan. We got a real special episode today, starting up with a new series, talking with our Amityville legends. We got one in the building right here that put in a lot of work. I know him very well. We got Mr. PJ Smith, aka Pop. Talk to him, P.
Was goody, was goody. Back in the building. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Always excited to be here. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everybody tunes in and see what we got to say today.
Yeah, P. So I'm excited, man. We've already had kind of a conversation, so it's going to be a recap on certain things, but we'll deep dive a little bit more into some other stuff too.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to the beginning, man. What's it look like growing up in Amityville, man? We're going to kind of keep it heavy Amityville.
Amityville was a tough town. You know, it's a hard town. A lot of tough kids, a lot of bullies. It's really like, you got to stand tall, man, because if you get, somebody see you getting bullied or punked, then you can mess around and get that type of reputation and get bullied by a lot of people. So really, you had to have heart. You had to have some heart in Amityville, man. North Amityville was tough. Like I said, there's a lot of people that will definitely try to test you, man. I try to test you early in life.
Yeah. So I mean, you got a lot of different personalities, a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different household situations, man. So it turned into a lot of tension amongst us, where everybody was kind of trying to find their lane. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, man, for sure.
So what was your outlets growing up, man? What were some of the things that you gravitated towards? Let's just talk about like late elementary and crossing over to the middle school. What were some of the things you started doing?
I started playing a lot of basketball during recess. I had a couple of my friends, man. Two really good friends of mine. They both passed away, so I just want to say rest in peace to my good friends back when I was in elementary school, Park Avenue. I had Deron Challenger and Josiah Lowe. Both of them became really good rappers, but they passed away some years back, and they were really good friends of mine. But I started playing a lot of basketball with them two dudes during recess, and we just was playing, having fun. But I started really enjoying it. I noticed that I was good, and that was something I started doing a lot towards the end of my elementary school years.
Absolutely. So RP to the guys, man. And that's some of the things that you really have to deal with as an adult is seeing guys and girls that you grew up with pass away from different things. So it's a blessing, like you said, each day. So we're talking about basketball. Amityville is rich in this tradition. Is this something that you recognized early, or was it something that you picked up later on from your perspective?
I say I picked it up a little bit later on, because when I was playing, especially like during like the middle school times, I was most of the time I was just playing because I enjoyed it. I wasn't really looking at the high school till really like maybe a little bit towards the end of my middle school days. But when I
Gotcha.
was early in my middle school days, I was looking for some outlets, man, because I was getting in trouble, and middle school was it was a really hard school, man. There
Let's
was a
talk
lot
about
of bad
that.
kids, man.
Let's
A
talk
lot of
about
bad kids.
let's talk about Edmund W. Miles, man. It's just kind of where it's located and
Yeah.
the amount of different personalities that get in there. Like you said, man, it can be challenging. So what was your experience?
Man, Edmund Middle Miles is in the heart of North Amityville. It's a hard school. I don't know what's going on today, but when we was growing up, it was just a lot of bad kids, man. A lot of bullies, a lot of fighting, and just a lot of testing you. A lot of dudes that want to test you and see if you got heart or not.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, man, there's outlets that people are gravitating towards. Sports was one, and then sometimes the streets was another one. Then you get a blend. We get a blend because you and I both played Make It. You know what I'm saying? I remember Make
Yeah.
It. So let's talk a little bit about Make It, man. Cutting our teeth in the blacktop at the Mac, man.
Uh,
First experience with that.
Make It was fun because my experience with Make It was, I remember, I think I was like maybe like 10 years old. Y'all
Yeah.
was and you were teenagers, and y'all was all playing, and I wasn't good. I wasn't good, but dad was the coach, and he gave me a shirt. Him and Nate Kelly. and they gave me a shirt, and I was at the end of the bench. But I remember they decided to give me some minutes here and there just to give me a chance. And I wasn't no good, man, but I just had a lot of fight, a lot of toughness. I remember, right? For those that don't know, Make It was a league, a basketball league in the hood in Amityville, and it was outside. It was outdoors. It wasn't indoors. It was at a park that we grew up playing in, Bolden Mac Park. And I remember getting in the game, and in one instance, I remember diving on the concrete floor, a loose ball. I just dove like Dennis Rodman, man. Didn't no knee pads, no nothing to protect myself. I just dove on the concrete for a loose ball, didn't care. You know what I'm saying? That was my first experience with Make It. That was really one of probably my first experience with any type of organized ball, any type of referees, at like about 10 years old.
Yeah. So it really shows your personality. I know you well, but for the people that's going to see this for the first time, that's kind of who you were. You was a hard-nosed kid, and you know what I'm saying, that's really to the core of you, full of heart, you know what I'm saying, like always something like, yo, I got to do my thing for one reason or another, and you was like, I got to get the job done. So crossing over into these middle school years, man, like we're concentrating on a few different things now. We got basketball in there, we got school, we got friends and different types of external pressure. How did you feel like you navigated through that middle school, then we'll talk high school?
I'm sorry, I didn't, one more time with that last part, Tris. What was the last piece?
How did you feel like you navigated the whole middle school experience? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that not only was it challenging, but how did you feel like you did with that?
I think I gave myself an A. I think I did my thing, man. Like as far as like after the most challenging year was my sixth grade year. Sixth grade year, I was just trying to find my way, trying to like see who was there. I knew about my own peers who were in my grade, but everybody else, seventh and eighth graders, they were looking. Some of them was looking real big and intimidating. Some of them were too old to be there. Dudes was getting left back. So there was I'm coming in at 11 years old. Some of these dudes 14 years old. Dudes old, man. Dudes is getting left back. So my sixth grade year was it was just me trying to find my way. And sixth grade we couldn't even play on the middle school team yet. You had to be seventh or eighth grader. So I couldn't even use the basketball outlet, yet as far as being part of teams in the middle school. So sixth grade, I was just really just trying to find my way. But seventh and eighth grade, I just felt like I was one of the dudes. I was walking through the hall feeling good. Nobody messed with me. Everybody respected me. I was good, man.
Yeah, you was good. You was good at basketball, but you also had a reputation because you can handle business. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, man, you found that blend of having street credibility and also basketball. That fair to say?
Right, sure.
So let's cross over into this high school. Now, your class of 2004, right? So you
Yes, sir.
you started getting into the high school when there was some state titles going on.
Right.
You recognizing the magnitude, and you are my younger brother. So we was in school together. Are you starting to recognize what the heck is going on right now? And what was your thought process going into ninth grade?
Ninth grade, just wanted to get in where I fit in. And then, I just wanted to really just see where I was going to play. If coach was going to, make me, let me be at the end of the bench on varsity, or if I was going to, play JV. I really just wanted to see where I was going to, where I was going to be placed at. And then once I seen I was going to play JV, I felt confident in my ability. A lot of the dudes that was on JV, I was familiar with. Most of them was maybe just a year older than me in 10th grade or whatever. And then I had some other dudes that was ninth grade too. So I was familiar with them. I wasn't really deferring to anybody when I was on JV. I got in there, felt comfortable, and I killed. You know what I'm saying? I was cooking.
You was cooking. What did it feel like, just growing up and having me, as somebody to look at, and being my brother? You know what I'm saying? I had a career that was pretty good there, and we have a pretty different personalities on certain things. What did it feel like being my younger brother?
It felt like I didn't really feel like pressure to like, I have to be, just as good or anything like that. I honestly just felt, man, I just felt chill. I was just good, man. Like Yeah, I was happy seeing you being a part of this, you know, but being in school with you and stuff like that. But as far as basketball went, I honestly didn't have like a monkey on my back to try to do good as you, or you know, they like, oh, let's see if he's any good because he's Tristan's brother. I was just always like, really didn't care. I was like, I know, I just felt like confident in myself, so I really wasn't really tripping about what other people were thinking when it came to me being your brother.
That's beautiful. And I could attest to that, man. You was your own guy. And we've had conversations like that. I felt like I could have been a better mentor for you, preparing you for certain things. And we had conversations like that. So we're not going to deep dive into that part, but it could be. We've spoken to other people who had older brothers that had success, like they could feel that pressure. Sometimes it's not from them, it's from the other people. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then it can be compounded from them. So that's really cool for you. What was your first experience with Jack Agastino, our legendary coach? Name the first time that you met this guy, and then what was that like? And then how was you guys' relationship moving forward?
Man, from what I can remember,
Mm-hmm.
Ad came down and I met him in middle school. He came down and personally introduced himself to me and AJ, like when I was probably seventh grader. I can't remember all the way, but it was middle school for sure. He came
Oh,
down and I met Ag at the middle school. He came in and you know talked to us and basically you know we can feel that he was you know coming down there trying to basically groom us and let us know that you know once these you know the next wave leaves, it's y'all time, you know. So and then you know he also let us know about a camp, the Amityville camp that was pretty big at the time. So you know gave us a personal invite to come check that out, and we went, me and AJ, we went to the Amityville camp in middle school, and we you know just kind of getting a feel for what this was about, what Amityville basketball was about, you know.
absolutely. So, what was your relationship with AJ Price? Let's talk about AJ Price. Then we'll come back to Jack Agostino.
Okay, okay. I was about to talk about Jack because I forgot I didn't really talk about our relationship. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll
AJ,
talk. We'll come back to it. AJ Price, you mentioned him. He is a legend
yeah, yeah,
inside of Amityville, but really rings out nationally.
yeah.
You was friends
AJ,
with that
man. AJ, man. I remember I met him and AJ. I met AJ, I believe it was seventh grade, man.
guy.
You know, he came out of nowhere. I don't even know where he came from, because he wasn't going to the Amityville district before this. He just popped up. So he popped up one time in middle school. I believe it was seventh grade. He used to always rock his AAU gear. He was already playing AAU and stuff, the Road Runners. He was playing with the Road Runners. So he'd be always rocking his gear. And I'm like, who is this dude, man? Like, so we had a couple classes and we started talking and we got pretty cool. And at this time, mind you, neither one of us ever seen each other play yet. So we just was talking and stuff. And then I remember like our first time ever like even hooping a little bit. He said he could play a little bit. I said I could play a little bit, but I didn't really know, you know, how good he really was. So we got to the gym. We was just playing a little bit. I'm like, oh, this dude really, he hoops. This dude could play. You know what I'm saying? So from that moment forward, we became real tight. Like we just was you know best friends, man. Clowning, had each other's back. You know, somebody tried to get out of line, we was there for each other. Like we were just everybody knew AJ PJ. We became like, you know, like brothers in school. Like everybody knew it was, you couldn't say one without the other.
That's dope. That's dope, and that's real. That's a real cool part of Amityville. And that's something we're trying to bring together of not just the class, but more of the all of us. You know what I'm saying? With different things we got going on. But yeah, that's cool. That's exactly what I've heard.
And real quick, man, a lot, you know, and I'm not even like exaggerating, man. And this is something that I look at as a grown up now, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty crazy what me and AJ were doing, because me and AJ, like, at about 13 years old, was really taking it to grown-ups, man, like at the parks. They couldn't do nothing with us. And I'm like thinking, like, as a grown-up right now, if I go to the park, how many 13, 14-year-olds about to cook me? I'm not getting cooked by no 13, 14. Me and AJ, I'm not playing, man. Anybody who was around that time at the John Jay Park, that's where we did our business at together. Nobody could beat us. And I'm talking about, we weren't even in high school yet. We was really killing some good players who were grown-ups, really. That's when I really was like, yo, me and this dude we can really do some things, man.
I could do something special. So let's go back to Jack Agostino. What's the relationship like? Then we're gonna talk about the high school years.
We clashed. It was a love-hate relationship. Me and him was similar in different in certain areas, you know, like you know, he can be stubborn, he can be, you know, he's tough. He you know, he's fair too, but you know, I seen some similarities in us that caused us to clash. Like you know, not really wanting to come off it sometimes as far as like being the pride. You know, he's prideful. So we had to find that common ground because Ag and I, you know, we would have moments where we did go after each other a little bit sometimes. But we respected each other because we both knew, you know, it was coming from a good place.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to this day, you know what I'm saying, he's still inside the circle. You feel me? So I definitely can attest to that. So how did we play in high school, man? What does that high school career look like, dude? Amityville Warriors, man. We were bringing off championships. How did you contribute to this?
I felt like I did really good. I think I told others, and I told you on another interview that I felt like I could have did better. But it was just I gave what I had, man. I gave what I knew. I wasn't trained. I wasn't honestly. I wasn't the most talented, man. Like I had a couple of little moves, but I was just determined, man. I was determined, and I might not have been the most sexiest to watch all the time, but I was gonna contribute, and I was gonna find a way to get something done out there. That was my whole career. It's just like finding my way on my own. Like I mean, like I had people helping me with words here and there, but as far as my teaching and understanding and the skills of like showing me how to use my right hand more and use my body to get dudes off me, just making the game more easier and taking me to another level. I didn't have that, but I mean, I look back and I think I did exceptional for what I was working with, from what I was given. I didn't have much resources given to me. I never played AAU. Nobody opened the door for me with AAU. My AAU was playing at the parks in the summer. That's my AAU. So I didn't have no type of that extra oomph, you know what I'm saying, to get me over the hump like a lot of people do with no training, no exposure. It was just my Amityville basketball. That was my exposure. And aside from that, I was hooping at the parks, you know what I'm saying, in hood tournaments and stuff. That's where I got my grind from. So.
Beautiful, man. So absolutely, for those who don't know, man, you was a combo guard, more of a shooting guard, lefty. Could you really shoot the ball? Hard nose, defender. Did a little bit of everything, though, man. But like you said, man, that fighting spirit is in you heavy. You was a big time competitor who hated to lose. I know, you know what I'm saying. I grew up with you in the house. You ain't like losing. Video games, none of that, man. Like sore loser. So you
I was bad at losing, man.
So I'm doing everything I can to win. You know what I'm saying? So and that worked very well with Amityville basketball. How many championships were you a part of, and what would you say your best couple of moments was as a Amityville Warrior?
I had 2 championships. My 10th grade year.
2 New York State titles, dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, 10th grade year. 11th grade year and my 12th year, we fell a little short. We made it to the championship game, though we just fell a little short. But 10th grade, 11th grade year, I contributed a lot, man. Even my 10th grade year, I contributed. I definitely can say that I played a big role. And we had a lot of guys on that team. We were loaded, man. So I didn't get you know, as many shots as I would have liked, or I maybe didn't get to.
Who's on that team?
Say again.
Who's on that 10th grade team, real quick?
We got AJ Price, Trevor McIntosh, rest in peace, Trevor, Max Rose, Jason Frazier, Richard Payton. You know, those dudes were pretty much like the starting 5. I was kind of like a lot of the time like the 6th and 7th man, but I was getting good minutes and stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of the best teams in school history, man. Y'all had a lot of big wins, man. Name one guy y'all beat.
We beat LeBron, man. We beat LeBron. We beat some really good teams. We beat LeBron, though, but we beat some other big time, you know, D1 talent too. But of course, LeBron James, he don't get no bigger than that. We beat LeBron that year, so.
Yeah, man. So you ring out, man. A public school at that, and it's not a private school.
Yeah.
So
we
now
was ranked in the nation too. Top. We were top 20 in the nation, man, that year.
Yeah, y'all was up in top 10. You know what I'm saying? Till a couple of things happened, man. But there's a lot of moving parts to this basketball. But y'all was experiencing it on a national level, man. So right here from our neighborhood, you guys from the neighborhood playing national schedules and doing your thing. Beautiful, bro. Like this is something that need to be talked about. And you was a key contributor in all of those grades. So like you said, man, back in those days, there was no trainers. There wasn't very many resources. Everybody's just out there getting it, especially in Amityville. We can just speak that. So like you said, man, you did a whole lot with a little. You know what I'm saying? You did a lot with a little. So what happened with the next move, man? Where do we do after Amityville?
So before I say where I moved, where I went to after Amityville, I just want to say like there were a couple of D1 offers, Quinnipiac,
Yep.
Fairleigh Dickinson, New
Yep.
Jersey. Fairleigh Dickinson in New Jersey, the D1, mid-major D1. That's why I thought I was gonna end up, because the head coach came in and even visited. He drove from New Jersey to come visit me in Amityville, and I thought that's where I was gonna end up. But things didn't work out. Ohio University was another school that was interested. So I had some schools, but grades wasn't there, and so I went to JUCO, Suffolk Community College, and really my college career was really plagued by injuries, man.
Yeah.
I played injured. Either I was experiencing the injury that I just suffered from in college, or I was like still dealing with some discomfort from a previous one. It was just I got hit by the injury bug all through college, like I was just like it wasn't meant for me to kill or something. Because I had really good moments. I had some good moments when I finally was getting healthy, but overall, my college career was plagued by different nagging injuries. But I still had flashes when I killed, and my teammates and my coaches and even myself. I showed all of us that I was like, all right, I still can do it, but it's just not as much as I would like because of these nagging little things I'm dealing with.
Absolutely. So let's fast forward to today, and then we'll talk about some of the other things, like as a recap. What we doing today, man? Where we at, man? What we got going on right now?
Working hard at just trying to be this entrepreneur, man. It's tough. But I'm a trainer, a basketball skills trainer, basketball skills coach, whatever you want to call it. But I work with the youth. I work with the kids who play basketball, and I'm just trying to be a light for them, man. Just trying to train them up to be stronger human beings, stronger players. Just teaching these kids with the game of basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Basketball is a great outlet, and we've had discussions, but kind of giving some of the kids some of the few things that we've gotten, but also a lot of stuff that we didn't get. To, like you said, not just build the character, not just build the basketball game, but also build the character. Because the resources are there now. There's a lot of resources. Now it's just a matter if the kids wants to accept the process that goes with it. That fair to say?
Yes, man. I mean, we even got kids don't even have to. If you looking and you really want to get better, you don't even have to meet a trainer in person. You can go online now. That stuff wasn't available. You can even look at YouTube or Instagram somebody to get some help, to get some drills, man. They got so many. There's no excuse to not, get your game up, get your game better today. There's no excuse.
What's your favorite moment as an Amityville Warrior?
My favorite moment as an Amityville Warrior.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man. Probably I gotta say, probably just winning that championship my junior year. I was, being that was crazy, man. We beat, first of all, like we made it to the championship game my junior year, and for those that don't know, back at that time, the championship for New York State was up in Glens Falls, New York, upstate New York. So we actually had the opportunity to play the home team. They actually played Glens Falls High School. So it was, dude,
the whole time
completely packed, over 6,000 people. So me being a part of that championship game, and I played well, that right there sticks out in my mind. Like, it was really fun. It was a great experience, and it was a great environment. Man. It was crazy.
And y'all came through against the odds, you know what I'm saying? Also, I witnessed you, you know what I'm saying, really do your numbers in Empire State game, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So
Long Island versus Hudson Valley.
So that right there. I didn't mention that one. Because it wasn't actually the Amityville basketball. It was part of my high school. But
part of it.
When it comes to basketball, when it comes to what I did back in my playing days, there's nothing better than that Empire State game. That right there. Even when because I go through my little nags and pains with my body today, but I still can get out there. So even when I'm like not playing as good as I want, or I'm like not really thinking I can do it no more, I'm like, nah, man. I remember that. I'm like, nah, man. I still got some gas left in this tank. Man. I remember when I did 44. But yeah, just to talk a little bit about that, it was funny because the one kid that I was killing, Chris Lowe, I remember before you even mentioned him, because I'm gonna tell people how you mentioned him first. Before you even mentioned him, I remember being there for a few days and I was just observing the other teams, the other players, and I noticed him. And he was just walking around like a swag, like he was just better than everybody. Like that's what even fueled me to do it. And then you added more fuel, but I was already fueled because I kept looking at this dude. He was walking around acting like he didn't like he was too good to be there, like he was too good to play against any of us, and like we was like we was bottom feeders or something. So I'm like, all right, I can't wait to play this dude. And then you said something because you noticed. And you was like, yo, Pete, this dude right here, he think he's stuff type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Go out there and put work in on him. I'm like, say no more, because I was already there. So I just remember when the game started, man, I was just motivated, dog, mad motivated. And I had played bad the previous game. I had like 9 or 10 points the previous game. So I was like, this was gonna be the last game. I'm like, I can't finish like that. I got to kill. And I remember, like I said, I was just motivated because the way he was acting, man. And then when you noticed it too. So I went out there and I was just killing him. And when I knew I really had him was early in the game when he tried to bring up the ball real, nonchalant. And I timed his dribbles and I just ran up and took it at half court. He just kind of like flopped and I went for the layup and then he just kind of like his body language kind of just completely changed after that. And I'm like, yo, I got him. And I just started pressing him. And and this was early in the game, you know what I'm saying? I think this was when I cooked him, when I took his cooks and went to score, that was only like my 4th point. That was like my 2nd basket. But I'm like, yo, something happened in him. He kind of like he kind of deflated. So I'm like, I'm about to take advantage. And I just kept cooking him. I ended up with 44 points. You know, we ended up falling short, but it still was a real
It was a moment. It was a moment, and I think it was a defining moment in your career, but not just as a basketball player, but just as a human being. That fighting spirit showed up against a top-notch guy. His name's Chris Lowe, Mount Vernon kid, went to UMass and had a really good career at UMass. But you took his heart, and you probably could have broke Kenny Anderson's record of 50. But you was being a bit unselfish. Myself and Auburn Scott from Hempstead was like, keep your foot on the gas, and they needed all the buckets. You know what I'm saying? So it was historic. It was historic to see. I was a proud moment to be your brother, man. It was a proud moment to be Amityville, and you represented Long Island very well. But it's something that you carry with you to today. Like you said, man, it's something that you can pour life into other people because it was something that you just had inside yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't really taught. That was you. And you recognize that this guy has a weakness, even though he's fighting like he's the best guy out here.
Right, man. Yep. He's from Mount Vernon, New York. But it's fun. Trust, I seen him about 2 more times after that. I seen him at a couple different tournaments in New York City and stuff. I seen him, dude. The first time I had seen him after that, he looked at me and he kind of was like looked away. I'm like, oh, he knows who I am.
He knows who I am.
He'll never forget. He'll never forget it.
He'll never forget it. So give me. I got two questions for you to end this thing. What would you like for people to remember about your Amityville career? Question number 1.
I want people to remember that I did my thing, man, and don't forget that. For real, I know I get overlooked a lot. I know that because and you pointed it out, and you made good sense. You know, a good reason I get overlooked is because I play with A. I play with AJ. And AJ was big time, so I kind of get forgotten because it's like, oh, A did that, A did it all, but A had help. You know what I'm saying? A wasn't alone. A had good players around him. So I just want people to give me my respect, man, and acknowledge that I wasn't just in a uniform. I did my thing, man. I really did, and I had to sacrifice. I could have did more, but I really, as much as I did like to score, I was unselfish, man. So I could have did more. Could have shot. So I just want people to don't overlook me, man. I was in my opinion, I'm one of the best guards too that come out.
Yeah, and that's valid, man. And this is the reason why we're having these conversations, man, because you're a stamped legend in this thing. Like you said, your legacy takes a back seat because of who your teammate was. But it was a tandem. It was a tandem. You had a strong reputation in the area, and people knew who you were. They knew who you were, and they respected your game, not just at Amityville, but across Long Island and in the area of the full region. How would you like to be remembered as a human being, as a grown man moving forward? What would you like for people to attach to your name?
I just want people to acknowledge me, whether you like me or not. I just want you to acknowledge that he's a person that, you know, keeps it real. You know, I keep it real. I'm honest. I don't try to like put on no front for nobody, you know. So whether somebody's feeling me or not, you know, just acknowledge that, you know, I'm a genuine person. I do care about people. And I'm somebody who's, you know, honest, and I keep it real. I'm not a fake dude, man. I'm not a fake person. I don't put on no mask. And I don't try to change what was, you know. I don't try to go back and try to recreate things like, oh, I was better than when I was, or anything like that, man. It's like I try to be genuine with and honest about what's going on with me right now and what happened in the past. You know, I just try to be one of those type of dudes that you can remember, like, yo, I might have not even liked P that much, but he kept it real. At least he was a real dude.
I like that, man. I think that's super valid, and I think it's all the way honest and all the way accurate. You are one of those guys, and for me to be your brother, man, I celebrate you. Now, one last thing, I can't forget this. We got an event coming up in April, man. How you feeling about that? And let's end with that. I got it. I almost forgot. Let's end with that.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, I don't know how others is feeling about this, like the people that the other members and other players that's gonna play. But me, I'm coming to prove a point. I'm not playing around. Like, I'm taking it serious. I gotta get my I'm getting my money all my money together and all this. I gotta do all the saving and all these different things to come out there to make this trip. I'm not playing. I'm
Where
coming
you
out there to
coming
kill.
from? Where you coming from?
Traveling from Texas. That's a whole. If I was to drive, that's a 24-hour drive. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So we flying though, but I'm coming out there. I want to have fun and I want to see everybody. So don't get it wrong, but it's about business on that court. I'm not playing. I'm coming to kill somebody. So y'all better not play with me. And
Where
if you've
you,
been to it, yeah, I'm coming.
so it's a business trip for you on the court. It's going to be leisure off the court, but it's business on the court.
Dude, I'm not playing around, man. I'm coming. I'm coming. And this, you know, this is, you know, I still like the hoop and stuff. So this gives me, I mean, how many more opportunities am I gonna have a reason to get to train?
You got a reason.
I got a reason. I got a reason, and I actually know how to train myself now. I'm not a teenager no more, so this is like it's fun for me because it's like being back in Amityville all over again. Back when I was in high school, and I used to try to go to parks and train myself, but I didn't really even know how to get myself to that next level. But now I'm a trainer. I know what I need to work on. So I'm like, it's fun for me to have a real reason to work on my game. So when I come out there, please believe I'm not coming out there to just be like, oh, I'm here. No, I'm coming to kill something. So I'm trying to do my thing out there and
So,
win too.
yeah, so that's gonna be dope. We got an alumni event coming up, man, where we're gonna have all the legends of all the eras coming together at Amityville Gymnasium, April 9th, 2022, free admission. So make sure y'all there. You're gonna see all it's gonna be a walking museum. But like Pete said, we playing. So I hope everybody takes heed, gets in shape, so we don't have any injuries, but we also don't have any excuses.
No
Like,
excuses, man.
no excuses. We all gonna put ourselves on display, and we all gonna put ourselves, open up ourselves for criticism, cheers and jeers, and all of the good stuff. So once again, Pete, man, I love you, man. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to rap with me, Bill. And we're gonna get this thing out, man. And we give you your flowers, man. You're one of the legendary guards, contributed to a lot of winning at Amityville. You staked your claim for Amityville, man, and you're still doing your thing as a grown man, paying it forward. So we appreciate you.
Love you too, Tris, man. And you get your flowers, man. Everybody better be giving you your flowers for how you played, represented Amityville, man, and what you're doing right now. Because if it wasn't for you, you know, doing all these things, I highly doubt we'd be having this, you know, coming together with this alumni tournament. And you know, as far as what you've been doing with the different groups, the Trash Tour group on Facebook and the Long Live Amityville group, man, it's real nice what you've been doing, man. Keep it up, man. I think everybody appreciates, and for those who are, you know, feeling some type of way, get over it, man, because life is short, man. Just appreciate what you did. If y'all, you know, real quick, for those that didn't get picked in the game or whatever, come on, y'all. It's a lot of talent that came out of Amityville, but we couldn't pick everybody, you know. So, you know, just get over it, man, and understand we still love y'all too. And we didn't try to disrespect, man. It's just too many players to pick. So
Absolutely. So we still got a spot for you guys, man. We want y'all to show up, man. We still want to honor and celebrate you guys while you're there. We're gonna have a section. So, you know what I'm saying? We still want y'all to pull up and talk trash and be a part of the event, man. So I appreciate that, P, man. That means a lot to me, man. And until next time, always love.
yes, sir. I'll holler, man. Thanks for this.
Yup.